35th Rawhide graduation ceremony. Pretty cool. Just, I'll give a short overview, but essentially if there are cell phones, please silence them or turn them off, whatever is the appropriate. There will be TV reporters, so if you see big cameras and stuff over here, smile pretty as you go across here and wave. We're being live streamed, and I think everything's all hooked up. And once everything is done, they will render it, and it'll be on the Rawhide website and the Rawhide Facebook, as far as if you students want to look at it later, if you have family members. So please do that. And if children are crying, maybe you could take them out in the restroom or out into the hall so that the graduates could hear the speeches. Bathrooms are at the top of the stairs and turn left as you exit. Please note that there will be an ice cream social immediately following this, and it'll be out in the circle of the flags, and anyone and everyone is welcome, and it's kind of a make your own sundae, so they're going to have, you know, the chocolate and the butterscotch and all of the bananas, things to make nice ice cream stuff. So, my name is Denise Wartes, and I've been with the program for 29 years, so I've seen a lot of Rawhiders come through the program, which I'm just delighted. It's a passion of mine personally and professionally. And I know a lot of the students. In fact, I know some of their parents. Okay, so anyway, 29 years, but this is the 35th year of Rawhide. And I'd like to quickly introduce you to some of the people on stage, of which the first one here is Mr. Greg Owens, and he's been with the program the entire 35 years, except for 2 years. 2 years in the middle of the program where he was working on a grant and then his wife was having a baby, so it just took priorities. Anyway, but all 35 years. He's recently retired from the University of Alaska Fairbanks as the math instructor, but he is coming back each year to do Rawhide. This is Vice Chancellor Yvonne Peter, and we'll hear more from him as we go along, and he'll give a welcome. And this is our speaker, would be Nathan McGowan, originally from Delta, but really all over the state of Alaska, in 1994. Okay, so just short introductions, but you're going to hear more from them as we go. And I would like to recognize Rawhide alum in the audience, other than this group that's all in black. And so, are there alum in the audience that would like to stand up of Rawhide program? In the interest of time, I probably won't ask you to identify yourself, but I would like to talk to you later. And one or two of them even have a son or daughter here in the program. And certainly there are siblings in the program too. Are there any Rawhide staff? Because I can see a couple of them. Stand up. I'd like to thank a lot of people that supported this. In particular, the University of Alaska Fairbanks, through the auspices of the College of Rural and Community Development, we are a part of. If you look at your program, you will see on the back page there are some logos here. And these people have generously donated throughout the year to support these students. The value of them for their scholarship is $8,500 to come and support them for 6 weeks here on the campus. Provides their airfare, tuition, all of the teacher salaries, the dorm salaries. Anyway, it's a big scholarship. And we give our thanks to the generosity of the various entities that have supported them, such as New York Life, Wells Fargo, and we just had a luncheon with them recently and celebrated. They have donated $500,000 to Rawhide over 10 years. So look for a newspaper article and or TV report that we're going to be doing on that. Arctic Slope Community Foundation supported all of the students from the slope. Boeing Corporation, ConocoPhillips, First National Bank of Alaska, Raven Air provided discounts for all of the Raven Air ones. Alyeska supported the Process Technology Club. This is important. Without them, we could not do what we do with Rawhide. So, What have they done this summer? They have been in school 5 days a week, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. in the summer, rain or shine, 85 degrees, smoke, doesn't matter. They also were in mandatory study hall 5 nights a week. This was their summer. They're going to go home and enjoy the rest of it, though. Yesterday, we were able to see the poster that the Rawhide research students, there were 8 of them. So if you see them or talk to them, you can hear more about their archaeological dig that they visited and the research that they did on ancient dog and possibly wolf remains that they found in an extremely old dig. What is Rawhide? Rural Alaska Honors Institute started back in 1983 after a series of meetings between the University of Alaska officials and the Alaska Federation of Natives, mutually concerned about the retention rate of rural students. And this was one of the solutions of which we still are 35 years later. Greg will have some specifics on the program because we do have 35 years. What are the classes they've taken? They've taken college math, college English, business management, process technology, 2 different types of chemistry, anthropology, reading, library science, study skills, transition to college, Alaska Native dance, yoga, and taekwondo. And there's variations of that. Interesting tidbit, as I mentioned, is 2 Rawhide students are second generation, which means their mother or father attended Rawhide. We have students who have siblings that attended Rawhide. And I would just like to continue and go further now and turn it over to Mr. Greg Owens, who can report more on the statistics and give us a humorous look at this summer. Great.
Sorry, Denise, no humor this year. Denise told me to go along, so get comfortable. Well, welcome to Rawhide graduation. It's especially meaningful to the math class because today is a palindromic day. The date today is 71317. And I did a little research. In the history of Rawhide, there have only been 26 palindromic days in the 35 years, so we're pretty honored. For you numerologists out there, that means something big. I'm not sure what, but I'm sure it's something big. Each summer, I enjoy coming up with a title that, at least in my mind, captures the spirit of the cohort. When we were at Camp Bingle, Sheila asked me, what was last summer's name? Remember. I mean, we've had the Summer of Love, and we've had Easy Peasy Lemon Squeezy. That'd have been a pretty good one for you as well. So Monday I got back, and I thought, what was last summer's name? And I looked it up, and it was a song from the movie we went to last year, Finding Dory. And the name I forgot was Unforgettable. I think that's the age creeping in there. I was tempted to name you after Pharrell Williams, Come On Get Happy, because there's a lot of smiling going on this summer. The staff, it's a real up summer. But I thought, that might give the wrong impression to the rest of the audience here. We're more than just happiness. And then I was tempted to go back and name you after a song from a band in the 70s, a disco band. Remember, disco was to my generation what rap was to your generation. Aberrant behavior, I think. I just said, oh. Anyhow, there was a song by the band SOS called Take Your Time, Do It Right, Disco Baby. And you did a lot of doing it the right way. During convocation, I said, I will get here at 7:30 every morning and make coffee. And if you're in need, come here and drink coffee. But then we started going through a lot of cups. It would be, that's not right. So I went into the RSS kitchen and I found some little, probably 3-ounce things. And you know, you're still young and you're, 3 ounces, you're going to be going pretty well. So I would clean those, but then I noticed that after I'd come back through to clean up, they were already clean. Not only were they in the kitchen cleaned, the first day they were upside down in a row. It's a stainless steel kitchen, but they were in little pools of water because as the water would drain down, you'd sit in the water. And I thought the next day they're going, it's got water on it. So some clever soul, Mr. Cochrane, was it you? Somebody decided, here's the right way to do it. They took the cup, they let it hang over about an inch into the sink, so the water would drain down, drain over, and drain, and you would have a dry cup. Take your time, do it right, disco baby. Nice job. But all summer, I was indulging a guilty pleasure, and I kept thinking, here's what I really want to do. I said, no, too selfish, can't do it. But then it was all wrapped up on Tuesday. I'm in my office, I'm grading final exams. There's a lot going on. I got to crunch a lot of data. And unsolicited, 2 women show up at my door, Jasmine and Miriam. And they said, can we talk to you? I said, okay, yeah, sure. What's up? We think all the math students should be honored. I said, what? Yes, we think that the math students are so unlike the other students that they need some sort of, am I misquoting you there? No, okay. So I thought, that's all I needed to hear, Jasmine. Because I've been thinking the same thing all summer. I, for the first time in all my years, have never had a class of all women. Boy, was it delightful. There's a valence, there's a chemistry there. We don't have to worry about impressing stuff. We just get to work. So, I've named this group the Women of Math, a.k.a. the Sisterhood of Ciphering. Ciphering is an old name for calculating things. And I would always play man versus calculator, so we would have some exponential function. I'd say, oh, no, don't tell me. And I would try to do it in my head. And they would get out the calculator, and I'd say 3822, and they'd all go, oh, I was just getting lucky. So, I'll talk more about the sisterhood later on, but I heard this morning when you went out to pick up Nathan, did I hear this? They said a TC brought the math class with them. I'm like, we're the math class or something. I don't know. Is that what happened this morning? Oh, pretty cool. You're sticking together. As you recall, the first day of June we had convocation. And I got up and yammered on. And I tried to give you the 3 B's. And I said, if you follow these 3 B's, hopefully you'll get a lot of A's in your classes. So I'm going to give you a little review of how you did. Number 1, be on time. 16 of you, or 38%, had perfect attendance this summer. No absences, no tardies. That's up from 31% last year. Now, some of you, in all honesty, were the beneficiary of the chimes on the top of the Greening building are set 3 minutes before the hour. And it took them about 3 weeks to figure that out. So I would sit out front at 10 to 8, greeting everybody, good morning, have a good day, you're looking, and all of a sudden, bong, 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 bong. And it was not a rare sight. For some reason, Leonida and Cassidy, I'd see an apple in one hand, running across the flag. They would get there just in the nick of time, and if they ran, they could get there before the top of the hour and not be counted dirty. More importantly, though, than being on time to class is you finished the program for the 4th time since I've been keeping data for 27 years. All 42 of you that arrived are sitting in front of me today. That's what it's all about here. Good job. Now, don't get me wrong, we've got like a 94.3% retention rate, but stuff comes up. Life happens, and there are or needs to go home, but not this year. You all hung in there, and there were some trying times, but you supported each other, and that is wonderful. Well done. Second B, be prepared. This objective is best measured by your academic accomplishments. This summer you earned 388 credits, of which 173 or 45% of them are core credits. Core credits, you have to take those to graduate. That's up from last year's former record high for percentage of core credits. The average student in a 6-week program, by the way, the university says 6 credits, 6 weeks, full load. Our average student, 9.24 credits, which is the 4th highest in 35 years, with a GPA of 3.68. Does the phrase "a new record high" mean anything to you? A stunning 18 of the 42 students had straight A's. We're not talking A minus. A minus is at 3.77. Straight A's. Would those 18 straight A students please stand up to be recognized? Thank you. 31 students, or 74%, achieved academic honors. That's also a record high. That means they earned a grade point average of 3.5 or higher. You lived up to the name of the program, Rural Alaska Honors Institute. Well done. With regards to your reading ability, on Monday we took the Nelson-Denny test. Your chronological age is 12.21. We've got some rising seniors and some rising freshmen, so I do an average. Your reading level at this point is 13.59, 7th highest ever. You're basically reading 1 1/3 grade levels above your cohort age. I want you to go home and thank your parents and your teachers for pushing you so hard. That allowed you to be here. In fact, Casey tells the story. My mom makes me study over the summertime. I said, yeah, that's why you're here. It's working out just fine for you. The reading class went up an average of 1.24 grade levels in 6 weeks. Aaron Eads, the class instructor, gets a little stressed out about these things, a little stressed out. So the story goes, the Sunday night, we're having milk and cookies, and it's to bed with you right now so you can get up in the morning for that exam, and it all worked out. I'd say you did pretty well on the first 2 B's. The third B was be curious. That's what it's all about. I hope this summer I gave you the Mark Twain phrase, the 2 most important days in your life are the day you're born and the day you find out why. And I said we're going to work on the second one this summer. And I hope you're a little closer to that. And a big part of that is be curious. So here are some examples of curiosity I saw this summer. Dalton was curious about what extra spicy Thai food tasted like. After ordering a bowl of extra spicy Thai soup, the waitress came back after 3 minutes and said, extra spicy? Yeah, I like extra spicy. And then somebody came out from the kitchen thinking, no. You want extra spicy? Yeah, I want extra spicy. So the bowl arrived, and I'm proud to announce that after only 8 glasses of water, he found the bottom of that bowl, and he said it was pretty good, isn't it, Dalton? He said he's got a hankering for some more. Jana, Alyssa, and Taylor were curious about what it would be like to ride the bull down the Nenana River on a raft through Denali Park. Now, in our raft, we had 9. There are 8 paddlers, and there's 1 extra. So you get up on the prow of the raft, and you put the rope between your legs, and you just ride the bull up there. And it all seemed fine for quite a while, until our guide kind of led us into a few crushing waves, at which point all of them had the same response. Flip over backwards, feet over your head, looking straight up at the clouds. So I think the bull won that competition. But I'm glad you were curious and you tried it out. Casey was curious about what it would be like to hike Angel Rocks in socks. I guess it kind of rhymes, Angel Rocks in socks. Apparently she got up to the split. You either have to turn back and come back down. Angel Rock's 8.3 miles, 2,000 in elevation. And she got up to the top and she said, I'm going to go the long way. And then about a half an hour later, she wanted a do-over. And Jeremy said, no do-overs. You're going the long way. Oh, I'm sure it wasn't like that, Casey. He's probably just feeding me a lighter. But I'm glad to announce that by the end, Casey said, pretty cool. I'm glad I did it. I'm glad I went the wrong way. She kind of worked through the pain and finished up. Cassidy was very curious. I noticed on the way back from the raft trip, as we're coming through the Nenana Hills, Cassidy's like this, and she's like this, and she's like this. And I'm thinking, what's going on here? But then it dawned on me. Cassidy's from Kotzebue. Fancy Pants Lance, how many trees are there in Kotzebue? One. Never had Cassidy seen so many trees in one spot at one time, and she just couldn't stop. She was rubbernecking back and forth and back and forth. I thought, it was like, I'm from Nebraska. We never saw water. The first time I stood on the shoreline of the Pacific Ocean, I thought, water forever. It's like trees everywhere. So I thought, pretty darn cool. Here are a few things you taught me this summer. Jonathan and Charlie taught me a new dance. Let's see if I remember. In, out. How am I doing? And I thought disco was bad. Woo. Maya and Tanya taught me a new math game. Now, I've been in this math gig since the 70s. And we're going to the park, and I see this. And then I go, and I finally said, what are you doing? What's called chopsticks? And I said, hey, teach me. And then Maya proceeded to pummel me in chopsticks. And so then when we were eating dinner, we thought, let's get Aaron involved in this, because he likes math. So he won the first two games. And he got, and once again, that's that competitive Aaron. They got a little hot. He's like, stupid game, I always win. I said, Maya, can we do a group game here? Yeah, you can do groups. Okay, let's play it. Payback time. We shut him down. You re-taught me one of my daughter's favorite games. This is a game of concentration. No repeats. I thought, okay, here we go again. And I learned some of the favorite categories. Charlie's Broadway musicals. Or, I heard this one, economic systems? Dude. But Aaron, I don't need to tell you, Aaron's is? Cheesecake! Cheesecake flavors, everybody's favorite. Here's what I hope you learned. This summer, Rawhide put you on a very short leash because the program is so concentrated. We don't have time for you to wander off and get lost. So I call it intrusive intervention. We have staff meetings and the TCs are on you like syrup on pancakes. If you're out of bounds, you're getting back in bounds right away. That works. Well, I hope you learned to internalize that. Obviously it worked. You've got the highest GPA ever. But now, you're the boss of you. And when you come to college, there's nobody saying, make sure you get, all of that stuff. That's what we're doing here. You need to internalize that. I hope you have. I hope you've learned to be kind. And being kind and helpful are good things. You were one of the nicest Rawhide groups in my memory. You really are. I mean, you're sweet as sugar. Typically on the van ride down to the raft trip, by that time of the year, there's a lot of kind of coupling going on. In fact, I remember a couple of years ago, Ross Enlow. Somebody knows Ross. He was getting pretty sweet with some gal, and I pretty much said, hey, I need to see some light between you two there. Let's kind of bust it up a little bit. Well, we didn't have that issue this summer. But as we're going, a couple of seats ahead of me, there's Jonathan. Now, it must be something with you Unalaska guys. You're a snuggly bunch or something. So, whoever was on Jonathan's left was a window leaner. So Jonathan looks over at David Wilcox, gives him those big cow eyes. Dude, can I snuggle up next to you for And David was kind enough to let him have his shoulder for about a half an hour. Although I did notice on the way back, David was in the back seat with me, and Jonathan was still up there. So I think lesson learned. As for helping others, you students put in a stunning 620 volunteer hours. That averages out. Yes, that is what it says. That averages out to 2.5 hours per week per student for all 6 weeks, in addition to everything else going on in your life. It affirms that you understand the maxim, to those whom much has been given, much is expected. You did a very nice job of giving back. Here's what I hope you learn from the Sisterhood of Ciphering. Build your support system, utilize your resources, lean on each other, and band together. The day after 4th of July, I went to study halls on Wednesday. 4th of July was Tuesday. Well, in your mind, you just had a day off, so it feels like Monday. So I took a book, I went to the mass study room, and I'm sitting there blissfully reading a book in front of an open window with a breeze blowing across me. And Hannah wanders by. What? Nobody's in here? What? I'll go get him. Oh, Hannah, it's okay. I probably don't need help today. I'll go get him. 5 minutes later, 5 people in the room. We're back to the good old days of study halls. So apparently they had a little scheduling lapse there or something. Learn from your setbacks and get a little stronger each day. The first week, tears. Oh, please let me switch out of math class, please. I'll do anything. Nope, you're in math class. It's too late. You gotta get. So, it was suck it up soldier time. But by the end, as proof that they figured it out, got a little stronger every time. Every quiz I gave on Friday, their average went up. So, and of course the last quiz is cumulative and has the entire summer's worth. That was their best quiz, so well done on that. Plan for a rainy day, yeah. They're all planning. Plan for a rainy day. I told my students, there are effort grades and there are, genius grades. The effort grades, homework. Alex, things you can control by putting in more time. Make sure that those are spectacular so that if you don't love exams and you tend not to do well, you'll have some buffer in there. This summer, back to why I just couldn't lay off these folks, not a single absence or tardy. In fact, I was typically the last one to class at 3 minutes before the hour. And typically, there would be 1 or 2 women at the board doing problems, and the rest are going, yeah, no, and I'm going, I'll just sit here, you guys keep going. It was pretty good. Their overall homework average, 96%. But I start in algebra, I go to calculus. And in all of the classes before the last class, you have a textbook, and the odd answers are in the back of the book. So I say, well, of course you should check your odd answers, so you see if you got them right. If not, figure out what went wrong and fix it. Calculus, no back of the book. Calculus homework, 100%. You crushed it. Way to go. I do need to give a shout out. Katie and Isabella carried the mail bag for me. They worked and worked and worked with these students, and I appreciate you. Thank you. Yes, well deserved. I'm big at keeping what hearing I have left, my ears open, and I would hear some stories. Casey told the story. She said, whenever we're in all the Raw High students and somebody just accidentally says the word math, we all go, this nervous, oh, you have to remind me, I have math in my life and I have to go do my homework. And I thought, well, you have to hang in there. And she did. I heard that it had some impact on social groups. They would say, oh, you're a math student, so you're going to be a dud. You're never doing anything but studying. And I heard one incident of a TC who was rounding up a store run, and they said, oh, math student, get off the van. You got to go do homework. Little harsh, but okay, that was good. It all worked out. Embrace the challenge. That's what I saw in you. After you got over your pity party, and you thought, okay, I'm not going to get out. You kind of got after it. You know, the good news was, you weren't so busy you couldn't fall in love. You all got a new boyfriend, whose name is Alex. Alex is this artificial intelligence thing. It has 230 questions they have to master. To master a question, you have to get 3 problems correct in a row, or they say, oh, start over. 230 topics. Well, the best group I've ever had, 3 people finished them all. So I like to throw out challenges. I'd say, well, can you beat 3? Can you do more than 3? We had 6 students out of the 8 finish all the Alex topics. In fact, even more impressively, Wednesday morning, it's over. The grades are in. Everything's done. And Casey, you seem to be starting the show here. I keep talking about you. Casey is still working, and Hannah says, give it up, it's done, it's over. To which Casey replied, I don't care if I don't get the credit. I'm going to finish. That's what we're talking about. That probably uplifted me more than anything else this summer. I just thought, wow. Amongst all the grind, don't forget to laugh. I heard a story that the women were all working in the math study room, and somebody was writing on the board and made a mistake, and a little voice in the back of the room said, whoa, 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 whoa. And I think I've heard that quote somewhere before. Apparently, when somebody's writing on the board and I'm having them do work and they make a mistake, I go, whoa, 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 whoa. Well, little Miss Jana, who's as quiet as can be, has the heart of a lion, and she's also very funny, but you got to work hard to get it out of her. I was told by one TC that Jana has a rare condition for a high school student called ADH, always doing homework. It's a good condition to have. In summary, transform yourself. That's what we're doing here. We're not at the finish line. Nathan, Ed, Gusty, yesterday or 2 days ago, sitting outside my office, class of '86, Agatha John, she's now a professor at UAA, she's finishing up her PhD, is sitting next to Nastasha Nick. Augusti's from Tuksuk Bay. Nastasha Nick, Russian mission. Class of '87, here working on her master's, sitting next to Sheila Black, class of '90, Kungigana, working on her master's. They all sat exactly where you're sitting a few weeks ago. And they all said, okay, I got big dreams, and it's put one step in front of the other and keep going till you get there. Chris leaves for his 3rd year of vet school in a couple of days. Bree will be starting her 2nd year as a counselor, not at NOATAC. Sheila starts her 1st year as a teacher. That's going to be exciting. Robert and Isabella, they're finishing up. They're very close. All of them. We do that intentionally. Former Rawhide, TC, and onward. Now it's your turn. Now it's your turn to step up. Be like the women of math. Break down barriers. Remember that when you pull together, everybody benefits, and strive for greatness. You've transformed yourself from anxious, insecure students to confident learners. That's what I wish for all of you. It's time to end the way I usually like to end. No, I won't be singing, this is the speech that wouldn't end. Although it probably feels like it. I like to quote, Denise is right. We went right from school, right to school. How fun is that, huh? I like to quote a book I used to read to my children, The Berenstain Bears, which applies to all the staff and all the students. Hooray, hooray, we're on our way. Our summer vacation starts today. Congratulations on a job well done.
Doesn't that capture Rawhide? In a good way. So today, in the mail, which was delivered, there was only one letter. And I thought, oh my, Rawhigh students in the P.O. box and everything. Nice big handmade card. What is this? I opened it up. Follow your dreams. And this is from the dog musher, Mary Shields. So she was unable to be here, but she wanted you to know that. If you want, I can copy it and send it to you. It says, Dear Rawhigh 17 kids, first and second groups, because we did it twice. Thank you so much for helping me with my chores. I enjoyed getting to know you. Have a wonderful rest of the summer, Mary Shields. Okay, pretty cool. So then we're going to go on here to the student addresses. And what I've done is listed them in the program, but I have also gone back to their original application and we'll say a couple words about it. The first one would be our valedictorian for the traditional Rawhigh program, Brian Conwell, if you could come up. So Brian is from Dutch Harbor, also known as Unalaska. And some of the comments on his actual Rawhigh application. Brian is heavily involved in various volunteer organizations, such as student government, teen council, student body representative of the school board, youth rep to the Alaska Association of School Boards, and he started an Alaska Youth for Environmental Action Group at home. Comments from recommenders include an inquisitive, outstanding student who achieves at the highest level, is dependable, intelligent, and responsible, and motivates others. And he did a lot of tutoring and helping in the dorm. Is looked to and recognized as a leader among his peers, self-starter. He's a freelance writer for the local radio station. Well-rounded and gifted mathematician and a great writer. He works with pride and passion, gently motivating those around him. I present to you Brian Conwell.
Sorry if I look tired. I'm going off about 4 hours of sleep right now. Sounds like Rawhigh. Thank you to all the parents, relatives, TCs, professors, university staff, donors, and other distinguished guests for coming out. Thank you also to everyone out there that couldn't be here today. Your support means a lot to us. I'm Brian Conwell, and I'm a Rawhigh reject. To be exact, an alternate. March 30th was the day I found out that I wasn't exactly what Rawhigh was looking for. It hurt. I thought I was a good applicant, if not a great one. Not thinking I'd get called back, I made other summer arrangements. However, on May 10th, as I was walking to lunch, my amazing school counselor grabbed my arm in the hallway. "You got in," she whisper screamed. I was on the plane to Fairbanks on May 30th, 3 weeks later. Dropped into an unfamiliar college dorm with a bag full of clothes and a handful of school supplies, it was awkward at first. Awkward is probably an understatement. We were used to our high school routines and our friends back home. We struggled together, enduring essays, presentations, late nights, early mornings, sunburns, bug bites, and homesickness. Fun was more common though. There was wrestling in the hallway, intense games of volleyball, trash talk at the SRC, all-nighters, long car rides where we all easily passed out, squads, Snapchat stories, ping pong, singing, dancing, and more laughing in 6 weeks than I think I've ever experienced in my entire life. All the while we studied hard, each of us uniquely motivated to succeed here. We came together quickly, and these 6 weeks absolutely flew by. In less than an hour, we'll all be Rawhigh alumni. We'll take what we've learned here and proceed to our own next step in life. Eventually, we'll become doctors, lawyers, archaeologists, dog mushers, dentists, EMTs, and pediatricians. No matter what, though, we'll always carry on what we learned here at Rawhigh, inside of class and out. My challenge is to always keep your community in your thoughts. Don't forget where you came from. Your home community is what made you who you are today. Remember the people in your corner, the people back home rooting for you. The people celebrating with you today. Remember the moms and dads, grandmas and grandpas, sisters, brothers, coaches, teachers, everyone who's helped you along the way. Rawhigh was an unforgettable experience. Without them, none of this would have ever happened. Classmates, take what you've learned here at Rawhigh and do something amazing for them. I know you can. Throughout our 6 weeks together, I've seen how smart, funny, hardworking, strong, ambitious, resilient, gritty, and capable you all are. Coming to Rawhigh, we have shown that our education is important to us. Choose not only to pursue a college education, but the best college education possible. Aim high because you're capable of the highest accomplishments. Some people will tell you no. They will tell you that you shouldn't be here. They will say that you aren't smart enough, you aren't strong enough, you aren't good enough, you aren't what we're looking for. Do not listen to them. The best group of people I know has your back. The Rawhigh Class of 2017. Thank you.
So as I've mentioned, there's the traditional Rawhigh program, of which he is the valedictorian, and now we have the salutatorian, Miss Elena Jacobs, if she could come forward. Elaine is originally from Bethel, and she's attended GELA, which is the Galena Interior Learning Academy. She's well on her way to earning her private pilot certification very soon. And in addition to her regular academic work, she comes from a family of about 11 children, and comments from her recommenders include: she takes pride in her work, is helpful to other students, and leads by example in the classroom and on the basketball court. She perseveres, sets very high goals for herself, and is a self-starter. She thrives on challenges and doesn't back away. She is persistent and doesn't quit. Miss Elena.
I'm so nervous. Okay, I got this. Okay. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, family and friends, teachers, TCs, and most of all, the Rawhigh Class of 2017. It is an honor to stand here before you. I would like to start off by saying a huge thank you to all the professors and my classmates for guiding me to where I am standing now. Without your support, I would not be here. Most of all, I would like to give a huge shout out to my older sister and brother-in-law for being there for me and helping with whatever I needed. Also, the alphabets. You guys have helped me so much throughout high school and still continue to do so. Mrs. Alphabet, thank you so much for helping me with my Rawhigh application and faxing papers back and forth and making sure I got everything filled out. And Mr. Alphabet, thanks for revising my essays for the application. And JoJo for continually telling me that I am capable of doing anything if I work hard and have patience. And my mother, who is not here, but I know she is in spirit. I hope I am making you proud. You are the reason behind all my successes. I love you so much. The Rawhigh program is honestly the best thing I've ever experienced. And yes, there were days where I just wanted to leave, but I am so glad I stuck it all the way through. Sorry. Whew. Okay. I got to meet such awesome people. They're now my friends. I've met all over Alaska. I learned a lot from Rawhigh, but one of the several many things was to learn to ask for help from the faculty and my peers. I know that each and every one of us worked really hard, and everyone knew that Brian was going to get valedictorian. But no one knew who was going to be salutatorian. And the fact that there are a few of us with 4.0s, somehow Greg narrowed it down to me. But I would love to recognize the other students' academic excellence as well. So if you got a 4.0, would you please join me in accepting salutatorian for Rawhigh 2017? And remember to dream it, plan it, and do it. So if you got a 4.0, you can come up here with me too.
for the Rawhide Research component, the group, we have the valedictorian is Miss Anna Stringer. If she could come forward. Miss Anna is from Utqiagvik, formerly known as Barrow. Comments from her recommenders on her application: she's extremely academically motivated and is attempting to graduate from high school and earn her associate degree at the same time. She has a strong interest in academics and in politics and humanities and enjoys challenging herself. She easily adapts to new situations and is a talented, hard-working student. And in fact, the instructor of anthropology class said she's one of the best, if not the best student she's worked with in years. So Miss Anna Stringer.
Hi. First off, I would just like to say how grateful I am to have this opportunity to speak in front of all of you today. I'd like to give a huge thanks and shout out to the entire Rawhide staff and TCs, and on behalf of our Rawhide Research Group, a huge thanks to Dr. Duffy and Holly for pushing us past our limits and helping us see everything that science and research has to offer. These past 6 weeks have been a blast, and I will never forget the many experiences we've shared together in our weekend activities, and especially those formed within our research group. I'm sure none of us can forget John's contagious laughter in class or Holly's crazy animal impersonations. That aside, Rawhide has taught all of us many things, like how to talk to one another, how to observe the world around us, and most importantly, how to ask questions and remain curious. Every day in class this summer, our instructors encouraged us to ask questions. We would ask questions to get to know one another or to understand the content in class better. And that's really important, because if none of us ever dared to ask questions, we wouldn't have reached the moon, the light bulb wouldn't exist, and we would still be mailing letters to one another instead of texting. More importantly though, none of us would be here today if a group of people didn't sit down more than 35 years ago to ask, what if a program like Rawhide existed? Friends, asking questions isn't just important to research and science. It's an important aspect in all of our daily lives. After Rawhide, we will all go our separate ways. Some of us will go on to college, and some of us will go back and finish our senior year of high school. But if there is one lesson we can take from all of our classes, and if there is one thing I want you guys to remember from me talking today, it is this: stay curious and never stop asking questions. Become the next great inventor, the next great author, or the next Greg and Denise of another program. Because, regardless of where you end up, great things will always happen if you build up the courage to ask, what if? Thank you.
Our next presenter is Ms. Amy Wald, and she's the UAF admission counselor for rural Alaska, and she has some tuition waivers.
Congratulations to all the graduates here today. This is my 5th year doing this, and it's probably one of my favorite events that I do every year. I love working with the rural Alaska students, and I love encouraging them to pursue their dreams. Every year, I don't even know how many years we've been doing this, but the admissions office has had the opportunity to provide Rawhide graduates with scholarships. And once again this year, we went to Denise and said, okay, Denise, who do you think deserves a scholarship out of the Rawhide graduates? So she got together with Greg and some of the other people, some of the other staff, and gave us 3 names. And so I have 3 scholarships to hand out. They are $1,500 scholarships. It's a 1-year $1,500 scholarship. Good to UAF here. And so the first one I would like to give out to Cassidy Kramer. Okay, the second one is to Anna Stringer. introduce to Alyssa Tungal. Thank you, and we look forward to next year and seeing what next year's group has to bring.
I'd like to just shortly introduce our Vice Chancellor, Yvonne Peter, who has a presentation and a welcome to the Rawhide students. He's been traveling quite a bit promoting the suicide prevention film, and so he wasn't able to talk to the students like he usually does. So now's your chance.
Dr. Lindsay, Shoji Yvonne Peter Oji, Mashenko Wotsanitli Gatan University of Alaska Fairbanks, District 12, and Vice Chancellor for Rural Community Native Education. Welcome to the Trothdale campus. My name is Yvonne Peter. I serve here as the Vice Chancellor for Rural Community and Native Education. So part of the responsibilities that I hold here at UAF is managing our 6 community campuses that outlie in Kotzebue, Nome, Bethel, Dillingham, and Interior, up in Fort Yukon and Tok, and also the Community Technical College here in Fairbanks. Another great piece of my responsibility at the university is I get to help in a leadership role to support programs like Rawhide and our Indigenous Studies programs. And on behalf of the University of Alaska Fairbanks, I can say that the Rural Alaska Honors Institute is perhaps one of the most important programs that we have here at this institution. I'm so grateful to the leaders from the Alaska Federation of Natives back in the early 1980s identifying this need for us to develop programs like this that really provide this opportunity for our younger generation to come here and experience some of the university and feel what it's like to be a college student. And I'm curious, do you feel like you got to experience that? Yeah. And from the sounds of the statistics that Greg was rattling off there, they really drove you hard this year. I come from the village of Arctic Village, which is a little over 100 people, about 230 miles north of here. I graduated from UAF myself. In fact, I took Greg's class 24 years ago. So I know exactly what those of you who were in the math class went through. And it's really wonderful to be here. I want to extend a thank you to all the organizational partners that might be in the room that contribute to help support to keep the Rawhide program going year after year. I want to thank especially the faculty and staff of the Rural Alaska Honors Institute. You know, doing programs, running programs like this is a heavy lift. It's a lot of effort, a lot of energy, and I want you all to know that we really appreciate all that hard work that you all put in, that you gifted to the young people that are here that got to go through this program. So I want to extend a thank you to you. And then also finally to all the parents and supporters in this room, I want to echo some of the comments earlier that really it's in the home, it's in the community that we nurture this culture of education among our young people and uplift them and support them to move forward. Of the Rawhide graduates that have been coming through here since 1983, we now have over 974 of you all that have gone on to post-secondary education and have fulfilled some of those jobs, responsibilities, and roles that were mentioned, I think, by your valedictorian earlier. Great speech, by the way. And so I really want to encourage you all to continue to pursue that. You're living through such an amazing time in world history with that intersection, as one of your other speakers noted, of this new technology that's coming in so rapidly right now. What some of us, and even in my generation, have seen is phenomenal. Because when I was in elementary, I was working on a typewriter. And everything was still on a chalkboard. And from that to where we're at now with technology, I think you're going to be on the front edge of that. Just as important, I was looking at the motto for this year's graduation, the dream it, plan it, do it. And what that leaves the question is, what's the it? And I think that it, just as important as pursuing whatever future learning you pursue, whether that's in post-secondary education or with your elders at home and in your communities, is what is our role in contributing in our families, our communities, and in our state. And really that's where we find value and meaning in our life and our connection, relationship to each other. So I hope that nurturing bond and healthy relationships you built with each other here at Rawhide, you continue to carry that into your life into the future and help nurture that kind of a supportive environment among your peers, your family, and your community. because we're really at a stage where we're building something special for the future in Alaska and around the nation and in the world. So I want you to keep that in mind as you move forward. I really look forward to seeing what you all do in the future with your lives, and I apologize for not having been able to be here to spend a little bit more time with you this summer and engage a little bit more in the conversation. But keep up the curiosity, keep up the discipline that you developed here, and you're going to be able to do whatever it is you really dream that you want to do in this world. I have no doubt. So congratulations to the graduates. So one of the new things that we're doing this year, and this was because of the busyness of our schedule, I don't have the fancy printouts, but one of the things that I wanted to do to be able to help encourage through our College of Rural Community Development the Rawhide students that are seniors who are enrolling into school here at UAF this fall is to also extend to you a tuition waiver for one of your courses this fall. And so there's 4 of you that are seniors that are going to be coming here to UAF and continuing your education, and they are Megan Contreras, and please join me when I say your name, June Tulik, Regina Tulik, Regina, and Danae Mulek. Is it Danae? Danae. And well, first of all, yeah, we'll get a photo. I want to share a few things. So I'm super excited that the 4 of you will be joining us here as a part of the University of Alaska Fairbanks family. We do have a vision in this institution to continue to grow and expand programs like Rawhide. We dedicated the last 7 acres up on the Rest Ridge here to build an Indigenous Study Center in the future that will house a lot of these programs and celebrations. And so we really want to continue in this success that we've been having in building out these sorts of programs and help to transform our state in a positive direction. So I look forward to seeing the 4 of you this fall here at UAF, and please stop in and say hello to remind me who you are when you do see me walk around on the campus. So let's give them another round. All right, and with that, so I don't beat Greg in the longest speech ever competition that we thought we'd never.
You already did.
I did. So with that, thank you all for joining us here, and I look forward to joining everyone with the freshmen after the graduation. So congrats again to all of you.
So we have another award here, and it's called the Kyan, Olana, and John Kakarik Award. Even though Kyan is misspelled as K-Y-A-N, it is, Kyan was a Rawhide alum from Shishmaref in 1993 and 94, so she came twice. In addition, she worked as a TC, which is a tutor council in the dorm. It's like a resident advisor, some people call it that. She received her undergraduate degree at UAF and went on to earn a law degree from Yale. Presently, Kyan, John, and their family, which include Rawhide alum Brianna Kakarik, live in Anchorage, where Kyan is a lawyer. This award recognizes students who were chosen by their peers. You voted on this particular vote. As someone who is a good citizen in the dorm, one they feel comfortable with asking for assistance. This award also recognizes those students who exemplify Kyan as a student in Rawhide, later at UAF and now as an alum, who gives back to Rawhide financially. Kyan is spunky. She sat in Greg's office many times working out math problems. She's tenacious, fun, helped others academically, socially, culturally. She was the director of UAS Festival of Native Arts twice, including once when she was very pregnant with her first daughter. She persevered to direct a very fine festival. Kyan and John expressed a regret at being unable to attend today's ceremony, but they send their congratulations. This award is the special one. Your fellow students chose you as the person they felt was most helpful in the dorm, personally and academically. We've split the award up into 2, and the first one and then the runner-up. I'm going to do the runner-up, which just meant a couple votes less. Annie Masterman. comes with $1,000. The second one, so she was number 2. This is the first one, and it goes to Brian Conwell. Thanks, Joe. Right, in addition, the rest of the funding that came from Cayenne, we're going to give out volunteer awards. As I mentioned, and you saw the nice letter from Mary Shields, the dog musher, and all the volunteering, the Rawhide students gave back to Alaska, and in particular Fairbanks. And the top 4 students, because they all tied, will receive an amount of $200. With 2 zeros, 200 with 2 zeros. And they are, if they could come up and Gerald get a photo, Alyssa Tundle, Daphne Mueller, Matt Nopolesna, and Annie Stringer. These are the photos. I think Gerald's going to take a photo so we can send it to Cayenne. Thank you. Okay, our speaker is Mr. Nathan McGowan, originally from Delta Junction, but really from all over the state of Alaska. I spent the last hour or 2 visiting with him, and it was very interesting to see what he's done since 1994, when I knew him as a young man here in Rawhide. Traveled certainly across the state of Alaska, but he got his undergraduate degree here at UAF in philosophy, and then he got his master's in public policy from Harvard School of Government, I think is the title. And he's married, lives with 2 children and his wife in Anchorage, and presently he is the president and CEO of St. George Tunnel Corporation. I present to you Nathan McGowan.
Chish, Anyachusani, noble people of the land. Chish, Ha'iadi, Yidat. Thank you for coming here today. Achtua Sugu, Yi Chat Yeyati. I'm very, very pleased, very honored to be here with you today. Knyuklach Adi, Chatzati, Kuhun Yadi, Ach Klivk, Unangan, Dakloedi, Usti. My name is Nathan McCowan. My Tlingit name is Yandaqinyech. I am a member of the Coho clan. My father's people are the Cohoon from Scotland. My grandfather was an Aleut, adopted into the Dakloedi. Dagana Hiddach, Chatzeticha Kunukhan. My house is the Daganahit, the outer house, far out from the sea house. And my people come from Kunukhuan, which is an abandoned village now just south of Yakutat. 23 years ago, 23 seemingly short years ago, I was sitting where all you are sitting right now, and I was thinking what I imagine many of you are thinking right now as well. When is this guy going to get done speaking? I've got basketball to play. I've got friends I've got to say goodbye to. There are things to be done. This is going on terminally long. Well, don't blame me. Blame Denise. Denise invited me here knowing full well that I'm Tlingit. Knowing full well that one of the great blunders of the Alaska Native world is to give a Tlingit a microphone with no time limit. So if I prattle on again, blame Denise. Speaking of Denise and speaking of Greg, I want to begin by thanking them for their long service to Rawhai, to the Rawhai community, to UAF, and to the Alaska Native community in general. I also want to say thank you to a man who's not with us, Jim Kowalski, who started this program. For you recent alumni, you won't know Jim, but for all of us who were here long ago, Jim was an amazing man, and his legacy lives on today with all of you. I want to thank all the dorm staff, all of the instructors. I want to thank all the parents for allowing your children to come to be here. Most of all, I want to congratulate all of you. It's an amazing thing what you guys did. An amazing thing. You had the option of enjoying your summer break. You had the option of staying in your home, playing with your friends, doing all the things that make you happy while you have the spare time to do it. But no, you chose the crazy route. You came here to be in school in the summer. Wow, I thought we were the crazy ones. Greg talked about giving each of you guys, your class, a name. Most of my remarks were prepared assuming that all of you were very much like all of us. I want to single out one of my classmates in the back, Ed Alexander. Ed and I and the woman for whom the award, Kyan Alana, we were all classmates here. And after we got done, honestly, I was afraid they were going to shut Rawhai down. If they could have given our class a name, I'm fairly certain it would have been the Legion of Doom. I was prepared to give remarks such as, it's okay that you didn't graduate with honors. It's okay if you maybe missed one piece of homework. It's okay if you were tardy to class. But looking out at all of you, I have nothing to say. You were so much more fabulously successful than we ever were. We were dangerously, precariously close to being the first set of Rawhai graduates, not to go home early, but to be asked to go home early. Famously one day, Greg, a note comes to me, I believe it was in math class first thing in the morning, Greg wants to see you. Greg wants to see you. No, I didn't do anything, right? I actually woke up on time today. I was in class on time today. I turned in my homework that I did nothing. Greg sat me down. I come into his office and I find out that it's not just Greg. He's brought the entire senior staff with him. It's an intervention. It's an intervention. And I'll say to you the first words that popped out of Greg's mouth. Can you imagine this? Can you imagine being there with them all staring at you, waiting patiently, fingers drumming on the tabletops? What are you going to do? What are you going to do? Greg's point to me that day, Jim's point and Nisa's point, was that you have a rare opportunity. An opportunity that no one before you has ever enjoyed. Your parents, your grandparents, my parents, my great-grandparents, suffered through enormous odds, suffered through enormous discrimination. Many of them are here in the room with us. What are you going to do? What's next in your life? I think his point was, what you need to do now is turn in all your homework. If you don't turn in all your homework soon, you're not going to graduate, and you're probably not going to be let back on the campus. In fact, Ivana, I hate to admit this to you, as someone there may actually be a restraining order against too many of us being in one place on campus at the same time. So, I'm not sure if Ed and I are legally allowed to be in the room at this point. Please, nobody call campus security. If I see you go out, I'm running for the exits. Our communities in rural Alaska, whether you are native or non-native, each of you know that we have challenges. Challenges different in kind, different in scope, different in complexity than the challenges everywhere else. And we have a shortage of resources to address those challenges. It never seems like there's enough money. It never seems like there's enough time. It never seems like there's enough caring or enough hope some days. But the greatest shortage we have of all is we have a shortage in leaders, a shortage of leadership. And that's the challenge I lay before you today. Each of you, by taking that crazy, crazy, crazy risk, that phenomenally crazy choice of giving up your summer and coming here, demonstrates to everybody in this room that you have the potential for leadership. Now, your leadership may manifest itself in many different forms. You need not be the Vice Chancellor. You need not lead nonprofits, be chiefs of your tribe. You need not be executives and run corporations. Your leadership can be as a teacher, as a nurse, as a community leader. Your leadership can be as a sibling, as an uncle, as an aunt, as a niece or a nephew. Each of you has at least one friend at home that's not here. Be the leader for their life. Develop your skills with the people that are closest to you, so that eventually you can deploy those skills for the people who are farther away. Our communities need, demand, crave leaders such as yourselves. Please don't hesitate. Please accept that challenge. Please continue to develop yourselves. Get your education. Work on being the best people you can be. It's not the easiest thing in the year. You might be scared. You might be apprehensive. You might say, no, not me. I didn't think, yes, me, 23 years ago. If you had asked me where was I going to be 6 months, a year after Rawhide ended, I wouldn't have been able to give you a good answer. You asked me, where are you going to be 23 years from now? I would have laughed at you if you had said I was who I am today. Accept that you're going to have struggles, but persevere through them because your people need you. Not just the people above you today, but the people that are coming behind you tomorrow. One day you will all be elders. Which sounds like a funny thing to think about, right? Protect the elders that you one day will become. Congratulations on this. It's a mighty accomplishment. I'm going to leave you with a story. A story that I hope will be of some help to you. Remember that anytime somebody my age or even older is giving you advice, it's always a chance for us to take whatever experience we might have had, good or bad, usually the bad, dust it off, repurpose it, repackage it, and hopefully give it to you so that you can make use of it. So I hope you're as patient with me and my words, more patient with me and my words today than I was some 23 years ago. So this is a story of Kadach Yak, the boy who's not yet a man, and the boat. There's a young boy, younger than yourselves, who grew up admiring his uncle, For the Clinkets, our mother's brothers are the people who teach us how to be men, who teach us what it means to be Tlingit, to respect the land, to respect our traditions. And this boy loved his uncle. His uncle was the coolest guy in the universe. His uncle was the one who would take him aside at family gatherings and who would tell him all the dirty secrets about the family that he wasn't supposed to know, and would give him the second dessert when he was only supposed to have one, and would let him stay up past bedtime. He loved his uncle, and his uncle was a fisherman. His uncle, and he was begging his parents every summer, let me go on my uncle's boat. Please, I'm ready. I can do it. I'm not ready. Till one summer, his uncle gets a brand new boat. Wonderful fiberglass 32-footer. And he gets to go out with his uncle on the boat. He's overjoyed, giddy with excitement, trepidatious. It's a big thing to go on a boat when you're a little one. But he's ready to do it. He's ready to put in the work that is necessary to be there, and he's going to enjoy as much as he can and take the challenge as much as he can. The first day he's on the boat, at night, black, no lights, they're anchored off of a point. He goes outside to do the things that we must do on a boat that does not have a bathroom inside of it. And while he's standing out there unprepared, a wave hits the boat and he falls overboard. Now the boy knows how to swim. He grew up swimming in the shallows near his village, grew up swimming in a lake, even swam in the swift-flowing river that's near his house. But this is the ocean, and the ocean is a different animal. And he's thrashing around, and he's trying to orient himself and trying to figure out which way he is. And when he finally pops up above the water, he's far, far away from where his uncle's boat is. He's out to sea. He's adrift. And he's looking around, trying to orient himself. All he can see is a faint, dark shape that he thinks is land. But he can't judge the distance. And so he starts trying to swim back to the boat. And he realizes he's not going to make it. So what does he do? First he panics. He begins swimming harder, more frustratingly hard. But the current is working against him. He's not going to be able to get there. He starts to get angry. Why? Why me? Why now? Why today? This was supposed to be the best summer of my life. Then he gets depressed. I knew this was going to happen. I knew I shouldn't have come out on this boat. And just when he's about to go under the water, just when he's about to yield to all of these unpleasant thoughts and feelings, something bumps him right against the back of the head. And he spins around some of his last energy to figure out what it was. And that dark shape that he thought was the land off in the distance wasn't the land at all. It was a simple, ordinary, drifting log that had been there the whole time. In fact, it was an arm's length away from him the whole time. So he reaches out to the log, and miraculously, it has two handholds, perfect for him. And he's able to get his breath and recover his strength, and the log buoys him up. It has enough buoyancy for them both. And the log, almost by power of its own, rotates him so that he's pointing at his uncle's boat. And now he has the strength. He has the strength to get back to the boat, and he does. Each of you are like that boy. Some of you are about to start college. Some of you are a year away from college. But you're about to embark on the same journey that that boy did. You're about to go off into the real world, into the adult life, and be on that boat. And there's going to come a point in time in your life when you're going to get knocked off, and you're going to find yourself swimming, and you're going to feel panic, and you're going to feel anger. But what I want you to remember, just like that boy, is that your culture is that log. And all you have to do when you have those moments is reach out for it. Your songs are there, your dances are there, your elders, your food, your traditions are there. Native and non-native. You have beautiful cultures. Don't take them for granted. Rely on them. Let them be your strength in those moments so that you can become the leaders that everybody here knows you can be and that we all need you to be. Congratulations, class of 2017. Thank you for letting me speak here to speak to you.
And now this is what we've been waiting for. So Mr. Greg Owens will take over as academic coordinator for the presentation.
I need to add just a little something to Nathan's story.
Yes, you do.
I do remember that movie. Boy, you opened up a real dark closet. And I remember a few days later, Nathan hadn't had enough. And this time, he and I'm the only one left. Everybody says, get rid of him. I thought, man, this guy is smart. So I called him in, we were in the meeting building, it was a sweltering hot day like this. 5 days to go. I said, dude, stay between the lines for 5 days. If you even look outside the lines, I'm your last resort. I'll personally drive you to Delta Junction, drop you off. And I was so thankful, and I remember Ed had his spleen event as well that summer, but look at him now. So if you need an example of transformation, I don't know if I've ever seen a guy go from the doghouse to the penthouse in more dramatic fashion than Nathan McGowan. So good job, young man. I think we're ready to present the diplomas. You'll see two types of cords on graduates. The gold cord is academic honors, 3.5 or above, and the blue cords are citizenship honors. I queried all the staff and they said, please give me those models of good citizenship, and these 6 people were selected. So if we're ready, first row, please rise and come forward. Casey Beans from Mountain Village. Oh, Casey Andrews, oh my gosh, off to a bad start there. And she's the one I talked about the whole show. How about this one? Katie Beans from St. Mary's Academic Honors. Harding Black from Selwood. Kayla Booth from Kotzebue, Academic Honors. Terza Bryant from Galena, Academic Honors. Taylor Burkett from Grayling, Academic Honors. John Carl from Kipnook. Henry Charles from Kasigaluk, Academic Honors. Annalise Contreras from Nome. Megan Contreras from Nome, Academic Honors. Brian Conwell from Unalaska, Academic and Citizenship Honors. First row, please be seated. Second row, please rise and come forward. Damian Basil Emelianov from Wainwright, academic honors. Tanya Hall from Noatak, academic honors. Naomi Hernandez from Utqiagvik, academic honors. Julie Jackson from Nome. Kylie Jackson from Ketchikan. Alina Jacobs from Bethel, academic honors. David Cockright from Fairbanks, academic honors. Cassidy Kramer from Kotzebue, academic honors. Miriam Kulovi'i from Savunga. Jonathan Lee from Unalaska, academic honors. Dalton McCarr from Galena. Second row, please be seated. Third row, please rise and come forward. Annie Mesterman from Bethel, academic honors. Harrison Moore from Nome, academic honors. Daphne Mueller from Utqiagvik, academic honors. Bridget Nallum from Unalaska, academic honors. McJune Nobleza from Utqiagvik, academic honors. Maya Page from Noatak, academic honors. Nicole Patkatak from Anchorage, academic and citizenship honors. Leonida Palushkin from Vozniksinka, academic and citizenship honors. Anna Stringer from Utqiagvik, academic and citizenship honors. Misty Sundown from Scammon Bay, academic honors. June Tuluk from Chivak. Carlin Tuluk from Chivak. Regina Tuluk from Chivak, academic honors. Please be seated. Fourth row, please rise and come forward. Alyssa Tungle from Unalaska, academic and citizenship honors. Danae Ulak from Scammon Bay, academic honors. Samantha Wade from Wainwright, academic honors. David Wilcox from Sitka, academic honors. Charles Wolgamuth from Utqiagvik, academic honors. Jana Wolgamuth from Utqiagvik. And Jasmine Woods from Anchorage, academic and citizenship honors. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you the 2017 graduating class of the Rural Alaska Honors Institute.
Outside in the flag circle for ice cream social. The students will have to go over to get one final picture on the library steps in the regalia, but after that they'll be free to join you. Thank you for attending.